PD, the youngest producer.
What's your boy DJ? We are back with another video. Today we'll be talking about why you need God in your life, how God can impact your life. So where I'm going with this is, there are some atheists out there that don't have God in their life that are going through bad things. And when you're influenced by God, it can make you, when you're influenced by God, you tend to make better decisions. Because when you try to get closer to God, you try to get rid of bad habits, or your morals are better. You know what I mean? You keep hope alive because of Him. And your goal is to be so good that you can enter the gates of heaven. So why are we bringing this up? Because I know there are some people because there could be people who could be poor, but they're rich in spirit. And I know some of y'all heard that. So when you're poor but rich in spirit, and rich but poor in spirit, I would honestly rather be poor and rich in spirit than to be rich and poor in spirit. Because if you're poor and rich with spirit, even though you're poor, you're like, why is God allowing this to happen to me? I believe everything happens for a reason. So because you have God in your life, or you trust in Him, it's like, okay, I'm not in the best place right now, but I believe. And it's not simply just believing. I believe in faith with works, because faith without works is nothing. So I know people turn to this too is because they think that having faith is what's gonna help them but you have to have faith. You gotta put in the work. Put in the work, like saying you're poor. But you know that having God with you, doing all things through God, and going to church, repenting, all that stuff is gonna help. Now, I'm not saying that if you pray, that it'll happen right away, or it'll happen when you want it to happen, or you'll happen the next day. That's not what it is. And I know you've heard God is never late, but He's always on time. So what this verse is saying, or what this line is saying, is that, the saying is that you might think He's late because He's not coming when you want to, but He's always on time, because even though He might not come when you want Him to come, He'll come on the perfect time. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe because everything happens for a reason. So say that God is always acting. God is always coming. So maybe He's not answering your prayers at the time you want Him to, because if it does, something bad will happen. So He's like, oh, thank God, because if I was in this situation, or if this would have happened when I wanted it to happen, this would have happened. So you just gotta trust in Him. But people who are rich and poor in spirit, they become a narcissist. They put themselves before others. And that's not a bad thing all the time, but when it comes to being a narcissist, breaking the law, or using other people. Actually, this is one verse that I'm about to get into, matter of fact. But people who are poor in spirit, they use others to gain objects. or happiness or success, but instead they should use that stuff for the love of others. And there's this verse, a couple verses I'm gonna read for y'all, matter of fact. So it's in church. So in church it says, we love stuff and use people. Instead, we should love people and use stuff. And then right here, this is, I'm trying to go at the right title of the thing. But I'm just gonna read like other verses that I have found. Let's see here. Well, oh, okay, Luke 12, I get it, okay. Sorry, my phone's a little weird. So, I'm reading this off my phone. So this is Luke chapter 12, verse 13. And it says, the parable of the rich fool. And it says, someone in the crowd said to him, teacher, tell my brother to divide the inheritance with me. So teach the brother to divide the inheritance with me. Basically, what it's saying is, like, you gotta use stuff, like I said, for people. And so we saying divide the inheritance is basically saying, like, tell him that we need to use this stuff and divide it. Basically use stuff for good reasons instead of using people to get stuff for the bad reasons or selfish reasons. I know that analysis wasn't that good, but you get the point. I'm trying to look for another verse too. Well, actually, that might be the verse. I'm just trying to look for another one that says this. Oh, I got one. Well, and this is gonna be the verses that I'm gonna end this. That I'm gonna end this video off. So it says, but God said to him. So Luke 12:20. It says, but God said to him, you fool, this very night your life will be demanding for you. Then who will get what you have prepared for yourself? And then verse 21, it says, Luke chapter 12, verse 21, it says, this is how it will be whoever stores up things for themselves, but is not rich towards God. So like I said, if you're not rich in spirit, you're in a lot of trouble. And if you get all that stuff taken away from you, and you're not rich in spirit, you tend to go towards the world way, which will end in the Satan way. So take what I said, you can go with it. I hope I inspire you. That's the goal, not to force you into it, but put a crown on that like button. Give me to 300 subscribers. Give me to 300 subscribers for season 3 of Dive In, because Nelson will return. See y'all in the next video. Peace.